There's no office that you give it to them, telling you between man and God, I will know. We don't need soap, we don't need this, but we need health, we need education. One single word can make a change. One. Violence is not the solution. Lack of employment. It costs all those things. Imagine the last election. If you're not a billionaire or millionaire, you will never be in the game. Government should do something and bring down the policy, the money policy in any election.
Get your voters card and prepare for the next coming election. Hello and thank you for joining us on LifeHub Podcast, where we talk trends and happenings in our environment. My name is Ruth Lawan. Of course, my co-host is always here with me, Mercy Tumba. Hello, Mercy.
Hi, Ruth.
How are you doing?
Great.
Well, today we will be pitching our tent towards youth participation in politics.
Yeah. So on today's episode, we'll be focusing more on the elections because elections are fast approaching. And like next year, we should be considering elections by next year. So we want to get engagement and discuss what we need to know about next year's election, how we need to stay active and participate in next year's election, particularly as youths, because we are the future leaders of the year. So
yeah, looking at all the saga that is happening concerning the Electoral Act, a lot of things that is happening during the election that we've been seeing in the country. So we want to see how we can improve the level of youth participation in politics. But before we dive into that, we have a guest, and we'll be going for a break to introduce our guests up next. Do stay with us on LifeHub Podcast. Welcome back. Like we said, we have a guest here in the studio, and it's no other but the Vice President of the National Youth Council Northeast Nigeria. He's also a youth activist. He is an aspiring member of the Numan constituency of Adamawa State House of Assembly. And he's no other but Bishop Douglas Kanatapwa. Thank you for joining us, Bishop.
Thank you very much, Ruth and Mercy. It's my pleasure to be with you guys at this crucial moment.
Thank you so much for being here. As a youth, I would say, because I'm allowed to call you a youth, and also as an activist for youth participation who believes that youth are supposed to have a voice in politics, what would you like to say concerning youth participation in politics generally?
Okay, my name is Bishop Douglas Kanatapwa, as you said. Presently, I'm the Vice President, National Youth Council of Nigeria, under the leadership of Ambassador Sukubo Sarabe Imbo Sukubo. I think this is my second time in office, which I think we have traveled around the country to see how we will be enlightening the youth of this country on some of the negative activities. You see, most especially, I want to talk about the insecurity, which 80% of the people are youths. So in our first time in office, we try to see how we're going to enlighten youth on how people use them, or how our people, some of the politicians or elites use them and dump them. You see, the issue of insecurity, and if you look at the majority of the people participating are youths. So we have gone around to organize seminars, workshops, so that people should see, youth should see danger attached to that. Then when we come up to politics, let's go back to politics again, is another thing. If you look at the touts, the people, they give them gun and all those things are youths. You never see a man of 55 years shouting on the street, destroying a ballot box or something like that. They are all youths. So we need to counsel ourselves first. We need to sit down and think, and we need to advise ourselves, we the youth within us. So we took that as an assignment, all the ESCO under Ambassador Sukubo, to go back to your state, go back to your zones, enlighten you, go door to door, rural area, urban area, to enlighten them. These people, they use you people and they dumped you. Education is zero. Empowerment is zero. Work is zero. No empowerment, no employment. So, and just for TPM, and someone will come and just molest or maybe try to convince you, and you go and be taking law into your hands. So we try to enlighten youth on that, and which we achieve a lot. Some of the youths today are not part of that game again. And when politics, you look at majority of the youth in politics, I think in my own personal opinion is 20%. And what makes it 20%? Politics today in Nigeria is very expensive. Very, very expensive. You need to see delegates. You thank God the president has passed the law. There's no option. No more delegates.
Yeah.
Which is another kudos for him for that. But even though still, the form, to obtain a form as a youth, if I'm contesting for president or maybe I'm contesting for Senate, I need no less than 200, 300 million to get a form. So tell me, where will I get that kind of money? So why will the youth involve in the politics? So that is our cry to the political parties and to the government at large, that they need to do something about that. We need to have, like, women have, I think, just 50, is it 20% for them to participate? Yeah. The youth also need that kind of opportunity so that we can participate fully, not to be leaders of tomorrow. We are already leaders. So if government cannot reduce the prices of forms, the expensive of politics, youth will not be involved in politics. We will still be shouting on the street, and the vibrant, the brilliant ones that are supposed to be there will not be there. If I can have my money and you don't know how I get the money and I will just come and get the form and buy people, then I'll be there. So we are calling on youth to say no to that. And also to sit down critically and look at the kind of people we are voting to go and represent us. We don't just vote anyhow people. I was discussing with some of my colleagues, and about, I think 2 weeks ago, I say, I am happy in my state that today we have like 2 young people that are about to go for the rest. Yeah. And which they were asking me how, and I was trying to explain. There's a young man, which if I'll be his age mate, or maybe I'll be a little bit older than him, contesting. But it's not being, it's not the problem that he's contesting. The background he's coming from, he's from where? You see, it's not everybody, every youth that will just come and contest, because you look at the financial implication. You can have the potential, but you don't have the money. But by the time the government will reduce it to a lower level that everybody can participate, then you can have a choice. People will have a choice and say, okay, yes, you don't have the money, but we want you to be there.
All right, with your experience, why do you think we are experiencing all of this in our own country, situations where youth are not given the opportunity to participate in politics?
Beautiful. I think one, in my own personal opinion, I would say we are the problem of ourselves too. Youth, number one, we're the problem of ourselves. Then secondly, the country is corrupt. Corruption, because if I'm a civil servant, tomorrow I retired as a palm side. The next thing, I have money that I've stolen from the government. The next thing is to come and contest for the Senate or House of Representative or governor. So how can the youth participate? Because politics is very, very expensive. So we don't have the chance to contest. If, like I said, the prices, the policy, we should bring down to a normal man's level that everybody can come and participate.
So the next question is personally to you, sir. I want to know what's your vision for this political offices. Because yesterday I was in a conference and I had the privilege to hear from the press secretary to the executive governor, and he said they were having a conversation with His Excellency, and he said before he could come out and contest for that political position, he sat down and like went over what exactly it is that he wants to achieve in his term in the office. And we can see evidence of his preparations. He's executing them gradually. So as a political aspirant, what's your own vision now for people?
Beautiful. Like I said, I have been a youth activist. I've been a PA to a honorable member in the House of Representatives for almost 12 years. I've been a student leader since university. I have a lot of dreams for not only youth, but for my people. And not only my state, for Nigeria at large. God give us alive, leave us alive. I have major problems that every time when I look at it, I get jolted about that. Education is very poor. There are some policy, there are some bills which, if God give me opportunity, I think I will stand on my feet to see that those bills have go into consideration. Because when you look at the level of development in the local governments, something to talk about. Some of the members, I don't know whether they are sleeping or they are just there. But for me, I have almost 3-point agenda. 1, education. 2, employment and health. Those are the major things which, as a legislator, you cannot execute, but you will look for, you will lobby. Work hand in hand with your state, with the executive, and make sure that you bring those things to your people. Make sure that the cry, the pains of your people have been in the decks of the executive, and they should know what. This is what we need. We don't need soap. We don't need this, but we need health. We need education. Our children are lag behind. Education-wise, health-wise, we are lag behind. There's no pipe bomb. There's no water in our area. So we need those things. Those are the things. Those are my dream, most especially for my people, to see my people get out of those kind of situation.
I'm glad you talked about insecurity. So what is your plan concerning, or what do you think can be done with the issue of insecurity, especially when it has to do with the issues that is coming up in Numan?
Yes, the issue of insecurity is not only in Numan. I think the issue of insecurity is all over, most especially not only in the north, but in Nigeria. Because just few days ago, they killed 14 people in Madagali.
Yeah.
You see, and Numan, I think there's no much tension of insecurity because there's no any report of deaths in Numan. But
Because that is recently.
yes,
Yeah.
there's no even before, there's no issue. But there's no way you will not have 2 or 3 misunderstanding. Even if you're in your house with your father and your mother and your younger ones, sometimes you have misunderstanding between your younger ones. Your father will say, no, you're the senior, keep quiet, stop that, don't do that. So it happens. But the most important thing is enlightenment. You see, sometimes people were just being without, if you're not informed, you'll be deformed. Information matters, enlightenment, organizing seminars, going to house, door to door, enlightening people on danger, on something. I think it's something that I have to work on that, because I've already done that. As the vice president, I've been organizing workshop, seminars on security. We'll bring people to work on that, to enlighten us, to give us lectures. I think we also need that in our rural areas, not only in Numan, everywhere. And also the youth need to know that violence is not the solution. And the most important thing is lack of employment. It costs all those things. Because if you don't, they say an idle man is what is it, the devil worship. Yeah. Sometimes you see, when you sit down, you don't do anything. And I'm telling you, today, tomorrow, you look at your neighbor eating well, you don't eat well, you don't drink fine, and you're a graduate. So many things will start coming to your head. But you need to have that God fear. When you don't have that spirit, that's why we need to, when we go to villages, we go to places, we go with clergymen, There's going to be a layman, there's going to be a pastor when it comes that we need to go deep, the enlighten us in that. We need government to do something about employment. This country, we are going down. Hunger is dealing with our people. So when you don't give them what to do, the next thing they'll go on street. But that's not what we want. You can still do a petty things like what the governor is doing. I loved the idea of Paweka.
Yeah.
You see, when you're sitting down, you don't have anything. You say, no, because I don't have that money. I give you 50,000 naira. You can start with just maybe 10 bags of pure water. I know somebody that started with just 1 bag of pure water, but today he's having just like a supermarket. It's determination. So if our youth will understand, and with people like us, we are going door to door to see that we work together, we'll enlighten them to achieve that.
So I understand that your agenda is to get youth involved with politics, like to get involved with development here and there. How are you planning towards getting the youth actively involved with your propaganda?
Not really. That's not a propaganda. I don't accept that as a propaganda. But
Let's say your agenda.
Beautiful. Youth will be fully involved because I always ask somebody, when is the tomorrow? Tomorrow is today.
Yeah.
I can remember the past head of states. They were 24, 26. I think the highest was 30 something. And today, you find out you are 40 and you don't have anything doing. I know people are in their house, they are 6 graduates, none of them got a job. And they are qualified. So my agenda is to work towards it, to fight for it. I will not just sit down in my office, elected as an honorable member, just come and sit down, maybe go to the chamber, hear the blah, blah, and go. No. You see, there's something that you work for it. You struggle for it. If I have graduates in my constituency and they are more than 50, I personally will pick their CV and go door to door where those people are getting the job to bring the job for them. And also education. There are people that today they finish their secondary school, but they cannot go to university. Simply they cannot get that jump form. I want to be a politician, not used and dumped. If God give me the opportunity, I become the honorable member from Numan constituency, I'll work with those people that stands for me. Not only them, I'll still stand for my people. If I'm not the member, I cannot still leave them alone. I'll still look for ways. I've done that. My first time in the office, I think I've provided a grant for more than 160 people of 2 million. And which something that I was told, there's an office like this, there's something like that. I went there, I look for the person, I say, okay, I'm from so please, or people are involved in farming and stuff like this. So I look for, those are the kind of things, if you are being elected, you don't just sit down in the office and wait for only the allowances from the government. No, or the constituency project. There are some things that you need to do. You need to stand on your legs to see how you're going to provide more for your people. Even the Bible says that stand, ask, he shall be given unto you, knock, the door shall open. So you don't just sit down in the office and relax. I want to make a change whereby a son of nobody will become somebody without knowing anybody. Because this country is turning into something else. We need to be on our feet.
I'm glad you talked about use and dump, right? One of the major issues we've been experiencing or we've seen over time in the country is seeing our political, or should I say the elders in politics, most of the time using the youth and actually dumping them. And this is something that is really frustrating because most of the time you see people or most of our leaders are elders, virtually elders. You see the least people that are on seat most of the time is you see 50-something, 60-something years on seats, and we are not seeing more of youth involved in politics. So what would you tell our fathers that are watching us right now, especially when it has to do with involving youth in politics?
You see, I said time without number that we are the leaders of tomorrow or something. No. It's today. We're the leaders of today. Let them give us a chance. We cannot be all bad if some of us are bad, even in some eggs, one egg cannot spoil the rest. So let them give us the chance. They should keep selfishness and greediness aside. Because I cannot serve during Boni Haruna, serve during Yako Mutala Yako, serve during Bindu, still serving under His Excellency. It's selfish. You should give your children a chance. They should grow up. They should follow your footsteps so that some of them too can pick the other younger ones and come with it. You can just be, after climbing the ladder, you want to carry the ladder and throw it away. You see, politicians are very selfish, some of them, and some of them are very good. I loved what His Excellency did. Yes, youths are being involved, but not even to my own satisfaction. But look at Taraba State. I went to Taraba State. I was jolted. I was really, really surprised. Because I think almost 60% or 70% of the commissioners are youths. They are 30, they are 20, 40, they are 30-something, and the same in the House of Assembly. So we want the next governor to be a youth. Even if the next governor is not even a youth, but you have the youth's mind in his heart. You can be an old man, but you have the youth in your heart. Kefas is not a youth, but he has the youth heart. So those are the kind of people we need. So they should try and keep aside and keep serving. You cannot live forever. You come to this world with nothing and you go with nothing. So no matter how you stay, you will still one day you will still step aside. But please, they should give us a chance. We are ready to serve. We have learned. We have followed them. We have studied them. We know how to do it very well, even to do more better than them. There are many people outside there are ready. They have the brain. They have the mind. But we just need a chance. Just give us a chance. We know that some of us has issues. Because today, the next thing that comes to a youth, when you give him a position, you want to buy a house in a banana island, you want to drive an expensive car, you want to go and live in a hotel, you want to travel to Bahamas. Yes, we cannot all be equal. Like the fingers are not equal, we can never be equal. But definitely there are people that you can pick up. There are people you can see that they have been trying. Like I said, I'm not being selfish. I will say with also say I'm a leader par excellence. I started I was in 200 level. I think in university I become the social director, National Union of Adamawa State Student, and I was in 300 level. I bought my first car in 300 level. I think I sponsored myself almost half of the university. At the same time, you see there are issues. I got into some circumstances because when you joined too much politics in school, it will affect you, which I'm one of the victims, but it couldn't let me down. When I know that this is it, during NAS convention, I was contesting for vice president special duty, and we were having exam in school. So I have to sacrifice the exam and go. You look at the selfishness here. I had to leave the exam and go. Well, you think my GP will be okay? Or not? So but still, it didn't draw me back. When I look at it, I say, "Go no, Bishop, you're bad." I have to change. I have to change department. I have to stand on my feet. But still, to say yes, I did almost 80% of things to myself. They say with Aluta money or Aluta's continual tutorial. That is it. It teaches you a lot of things. You learn a lot of things. It's not just being there. It's not just about the Aluta, but it's about the experience. There's no office that you give me today. I'm telling you, between man and God, I will know who. The way I am now, said, Bishop, you're going to be the next governor. I think I will do more better than anybody in Nigeria because I know where I'm going. I know the focus. I have the dream.
I think that brings me to my last question. As a, let's say, political aspirant, what makes you different from your other opponents? Like, what stands you out from the other opponents?
Beautiful. You see, like I said, I have experience. You can never compare someone that started from university, joining the larger society. There's a difference. I'm not the rich person that just because my father was the former minister, my father is a billionaire and I want to join politics. How do you think I'll perform? No, just
Yeah.
Mercy, tell me, if today your father has your Dangote daughter, and you just wake up one day and say, because everybody is contesting and you want to go to house, and your dad say, okay, fine. If it is the money, he has the money. And he sponsor you and you become the next reps or the next senator for your zone. You don't have the idea. You don't know what they go through because you have been in a glass house. You travel Europe to Europe, American to the Canada, all, you don't stay. You're not on the grassroots. You're not with your people. You don't know what they go through. You don't understand their pains. So how will you perform? So there are politicians like that. They just came. I don't know where they get their money from. They will just come and buy it because politics now is all about money. That's why I say I'm different. We're not like that. And I'm calling the youth, the attention of the youth. We should say no to that kind of politics. And government should do something and bring down the policy, the money policy in any election. I want to thank Mr. President very well for the Electoral Act. There are some parts that which, yeah, it's okay. Option A4. You see, everybody wants to go and stand. If you know you have people, let them come and queue behind you. Not delegates. Imagine the last election. If you're not a billionaire or millionaire, you will never be in the game. Because it's about buying your delegates. Some delegate are 1 million, some 500,000, some even $20,000, $10,000. So people like us, how can we be involved in that? And if I spend my money over 500 million to become House of Assembly, what will I do for my people? And at the same time, there's another advantage, which I always called. When someone wants to give you a shirt, look at the one he's wearing first. You understand? It's another thing. It's vice versa. I was telling people that someone come out and he was contesting. He called me and another person called me and I said, no, I'm not going for Mr. A, I'm going for Mr. B. And they were asking me why. I said, because Mr. A already have house in Lagos, he has house in London, he have house in Banana Island. I think he's there just to see maybe the cry of the masses. Are you getting me? Because he has been coming home, he said maybe that's. Then Mr. C or Mr. B has never had car of his own. He trekked.
Yeah.
He contest. For my own opinion, I said, no, I will not vote him. They say, why? I said, because by the time Mr. B entered, he will make sure that you want to find the fine, good clothes. You want to look like Mr. A first.
Before you think so.
The people. So, and before you know, time have gone.
Okay, what would you like to tell the youth who have lost interest in politics? Talk to the youth who have lost interest in the electoral system entirely. Because if you look at the news that we have experienced in Abuja and also in Kano, the recent election that happened with the new electoral act and all that, it has been that a lot of people have been talking about the voting system, which is not favorable, corruption, a lot of things that is happening.
Yes, my advice for them not to get discouraged. Because definitely life is all about ups and downs. You see, like I said, corruption is number one problem. And not because it happens in Yola or in Kaduna, then I will not get discouraged that no. You're now giving them more chance to do the corruption. My advice is for them to come back, stand and protect your votes. By the time me and you casted our vote and we were there, they count the vote, make sure that our vote are being protected. So we should not get discouraged. Let you not be discouraged. I've preached that times without number. Even last week, I think a cousin of mine was saying, it's been long, I don't vote, but because of you now, I say, no, but that's bad. As young, educated, like, and you don't vote, and you have the mouth to say, no, Tinubu is this, Atiku is this and that. This. I say, no. When you vote, you have the right to complain or whatever that happens. One single vote can make a change. One. So please, calling on the entire Nigerian youth, most especially those people are being discouraged about politics. No. Politics have come to stay in Nigeria. How many years? So even in America, in foreign countries. It took them years, but it will be okay. It will be better. But except me and you use hands together and say, yes, we will do it. We will protect it. I will make sure that everything is okay in our own face before we go back home.
Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your coming. We are wishing you all the best in your endeavors.
All right, we appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was great to have you, and we are wishing you the best.
Thank you very much.
Political career.
Anyway,
That the youth will learn from your
and understand. Anyways, he is an aspirant of the All Progressive Congress, APC. We wish you all the best.
From Numan local government.
Numan local government.
Adamawa State.
Adamawa State. We wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure having you girls here. And looking next time we'll discuss more better.
Probably the next time we are hosting, you're sitting in office.
We'll
Yeah.
be
by
talking
God's
to
grace.
the.
By
That'll be
God's grace.
beautiful.
By God's grace.
Viewers, thank you so much for staying with us. I'm sure you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to get your voters card and prepare for the next coming elections. So here on LifeHub Podcast, we're saying thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and engage our posts. See you next time.